Hey there, this is another one of the LEGO Ninjago Sons of Garmadon series sets. This is called Street Race of Snake Jaguar. There's no "the" in the title, but I guess the name is long enough as it is. This is exactly what it looks like. Another one of those sets with oversized fantasy motorcycles. You get two of them here, and it's one good guy versus one bad guy, and a little side build to go with it. Now, the good news is that each of these bikes has an interesting, unique feature built into it. I'm going to start with Zane's bike here, which looks a lot like it's from the Eagle tribe of Chima, with the color scheme and what looks like an eagle head at the front of it as well. But I mean, it is basically just a bike. Smaller tire in the front than in the rear, just in diameter, same width, but you know, it's able to hold itself up on its own because of the width of those. You get stud shooters, one on either side. Those are, I think, nicely integrated in down here. They just add a little bit of color that kind of goes with the color scheme, even if you don't want to use them and lose those studs all over the place. Has a sticker on either side, plus one going down the center cowling. You can bring these blades out. That's very useful for battle, for sure, and it's really easy to do that. They're not even on the ratcheted styles of hinges, so you know there's no fuss behind these, and they don't tend to pull themselves out. Zane gets a place to sit. He's not able to really use all of his equipment. Unfortunately, there are no clips on this and places to hold on to his normal accessories. That's unfortunate, but there is, I said there was something special about each of these. I don't like that red piece. I wish that wasn't red. I wish it was some other color that went with the color scheme a little bit better. Let me show you the special thing. Have you actually seen it already at this point? Maybe you have. Maybe you haven't. The wings fold out. Okay, so that's a thing, and it's useful, right? But it goes farther than that. This all lifts off. Clink. Comes its own thing. It's kind of an extension of the whole Zane Falcon concept, except here this is an eagle, and it's able to fly around. Change the angles of those wings. This is a nice looking little thing. Like, this almost looks like it would be a poly bag thing that would, you know, be an add-on to the series or something. Interestingly, behind that there's actually some more decoration to be seen on just the bike. That round tile piece on the side there is a print. It's not a sticker. That was shocking. They easily could have done that as just another of the stickers on the sheet. I don't know why they didn't, but I'm okay with it. I appreciate prints. There's another small sticker that you could barely see with the eagle on there, and also Zane gets just a little bit of a console in front of him. That's good. That's always good to see. I like console. Whether there's stickers or prints, whatever they are, just console decorations, they're always good to get. Let's check out this bad guy bike. Okay, first impression, at least to me, this looks better. Looks cooler, looks more interesting, looks more detailed. I like this. I like it very much. And it features two of this new kind of hybrid blade and toothed piece here up at the front, which I think will be very much appreciated by the large action figure custom building community, Bionicle mock makers and such. It's really good looking piece. You can fit anything bar sized into any of these three spots that they have here. There are just open holes on the other sides, and yeah, they just fit into axle holes at the root. And the way that these are set up right now, you can kind of chop with them in front of you. So this is a bike that would want to attack from the back, you know, going up to the rear tire of its enemy, and you can operate these independently using the knob on either side. But beyond that, just rolling it will make those do something. You just kind of pop around, and the faster you do this, the more they pop up and down. You can really start to see them move. So that's cool. You know, they're just riding on these little barbs off to the sides. You could leave one of these off, and then they'll pop less frequently. Maybe try putting different things in there that will fit into bar-sized holes. I like it. It works. It's much more difficult to access the the shooters, the stud shooters on this one. It has 2 as well, but they're kind of inboard, so you really want to retract these blades completely to be able to get to those. So it's kind of 2 modes in that way, and that works out for me. I'm definitely okay with that. I think that adds a little extra something to do for kids who are in the process of an imaginative play experience. I think that's good. One thing that's not good here is that these shooters are angled down, because the entire bike has a rake to it, which looks really cool. I don't like that yellow piece, but I like that angle. It just has some nice energy. So much better than just keeping everything horizontal. That looks good. But these are pointing down, so they won't shoot too far in front of you. Now he gets kind of a large console sticker in front of him. There's some small stickers on the sides. One on the banner only shows up on one side because the other side has anti-studs, so you can't attach anything there. Got that Nexo Knights shield insert piece, or style of piece used for the rest for the back of his seat, and that's pretty much it for this one. But just from any kind of distance, I just like the visual presence of this one. This one just looks like something that I would want to have. If I was a kid and I could choose between this or Zane's bike, I would have to choose this. It just looks more interesting and more desirable to me. Here's a closer look at this new Zane figure, going back to the silver skin tone. A lot of print on the torso and the legs. The hip looks a little bit messed up, like it just wasn't fully printed. I think that should be more of a straight line kind of affair on the top of it. Just looks like it went through the machine too quickly. There's also a little bit of mess up on the leg, especially on the right side of your screen there. So I think maybe they've kind of increased the speed on the production line for some of these prints. It's different. I don't know. There's something about that pattern though that almost feels like pajamas to me. I appreciate trying to bring texture in and not just leaving, plain colored spaces, but that texture itself, I don't know about that. I don't think I favor it. I think there's little enough of it back here that this works out fine, but from the front, not so much for me. I do like the straps and the edges and the belts and the pouches and stuff. That all works for me. Also, the print for the head works. This is a very strong expression. It's not the brightest of print for the eyes, but it still comes through very, very clearly. There's a lot of passion and rage behind that. It does not have an alternate face because you need to have the plug-in port back there. It looks like he's been upgraded just a little bit. I don't remember seeing quite that much stuff on the back of his head previously. One thing is actually missing from this figure that I have not shown you yet, and it's the quiver. He does come with just a basic black quiver, but you can't put him on the bike with this. I mean, maybe you can find a way to kind of cheat it, but on the front of the box they don't even show that in the scene at all. On the back they kind of have him leaning way forward, and then they kind of cheat it into the scene, but it doesn't really fit. So that's why I was saying it's unfortunate that there are no spots on the bike to hold on to his equipment. So he needs a place to put his quiver, and it would be nice to have just a single clip for his bow too, so he could have both hands on the handlebars. This is Mr. E, and what do you know? We've seen him in multiple sets now with the same name. It's a character that doesn't seem to change his name, although maybe it actually does, but since we're abbreviating it, we just don't know both names. He might have 2 names and they both start with E, or at least for the last name, Mr. E. I don't know. We'll see how that works out, but this is a cool looking figure with a good print for the torso. And the back one looks familiar, but the front is unique, very unique. And I think the print for the hips and the legs, that all works out well here. He has the interesting upper kind of armor piece, and not much is going on for his face because he's a mystery. So pop off this helmet entirely and there's nothing else to see. It's just eyes. Nothing else to see back here either. This is an armor stand for the Mask of Vengeance. I'm not sure exactly how this is going to work out in the show, but this is, I believe, not intended to be a living thing, even though it kind of has a robot torso beneath it. I think it's just supposed to be stand, but it does include that special torso piece. So it's not just a thing to fight over to get just the mask. And beneath there is another Mr. E face. Could Mr. E be Legion? You know, could there be multiple Mr. E incarnations? No print on the back of this, but the idea here with this set is that one thing you can do is take your Mr. E figure. I'm just going to pop its head off entirely. Use the legs and its standard torso. Pull all of this off. I was trying to keep it together, but put that on Garmadon style to your Mr. E legs and regular torso, creating something new, this demon-based thing. So this is like a fully realized demon of vengeance or something. The set does include a plethora of red katanas, so you can put all those in the hands and still have a couple left over. You're supposed to take a couple from the bike, but they have enough in there that you don't even need to remove those. This suddenly becomes possibly the most valuable thing in the set to collectors. It's interesting, it's striking, and the color scheme works out really, really well. This has me more interested in this new series, I think, this new season, than anything that I've seen so far from the sets. Too bad there's no print on the back of that upper torso, but still a cool thing. I like it. And then you can use this as a little mini-me. So intrigue intensifies. Ultimately, this set is just a couple of oversized fantasy motorcycles to race against each other, so I think that this is going to, for the most part, heavily skew towards the younger end of the age range, you know, just for play. And I think that it's designed well for that. I really like the look of this bike, and I like its feature when you have the blades forward. I also like those pieces. But then Zane does get that detachable, you know, eagle drone thing that really fits nicely around the bike and comes off and looks good just by itself. So it's probably a pretty even match between these two in terms of just how much cool factor each has. It's going to be very subjective, I think, for sure. For what it is, I think it's a pretty well done set overall. So that wraps up my thoughts about this set then, and it is time for me to move on to the next. I have many more things to review, so I'll be talking to you again very, very soon.